Seniors, I am begging you to stop these 5 exercises that are slowly damaging your heart. If you are over 60, what I am about to share could completely change how you move and possibly save your heart. Because 5 common exercises, yes, exercises that millions of seniors do every day may be silently damaging your heart with every repetition. I know this sounds surprising. After all, we are told that movement is medicine. But when the wrong kind of movement meets an aging heart, the result is not strength. It is strain. And here is the most important part: these exercises do not feel dangerous. They feel normal, even healthy. But what I have seen in my years of practice, as a doctor who has sat beside too many seniors in hospital beds, is this: the damage is slow, it is silent, and it is preventable. That is why this video is not just a warning, it is a guide. You will discover the 5 exercises you need to stop or modify starting today. And if you stay until the end, I will also share one final insight, number 5, that may shock you. Because it is not about what you do, it is about when you do it. And fixing it could instantly reduce your heart risk while helping you sleep better tonight. So please, stay with me. Your heart has served you faithfully for decades. Now it is time to return the favor. Let us begin. High intensity interval training, the dangerous strain hidden in fitness. Let us return to the question we asked at the beginning. What if the very exercises you trust to protect your health are the same ones quietly pushing your heart toward danger? Nowhere is that contradiction more clear than in high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. You have likely heard of it. Short bursts of all-out effort, quick rest periods, and then push again. This method is all over the internet, on TV, and in fitness classes that promise faster results in less time. For younger people, it can work. For athletes in their prime, it may be a smart challenge. But for those over 60, with a heart that has already worked millions of beats, arteries that have lost some elasticity, and a nervous system that no longer recovers like it used to, this type of training can be devastating. Here is why. During a HIIT workout, your heart is suddenly forced to pump at maximum speed. Your blood pressure spikes, your breathing quickens, and inside, your cardiovascular system is scrambling to keep up. This is not strength, this is strain. And over time, that strain accumulates. As a cardiologist, I have seen seniors walk into my clinic looking perfectly healthy until we run the tests. We see signs of early heart damage, elevated resting heart rates, stress hormones through the roof, or worse, arrhythmias that could lead to a stroke, a heart attack, or the gradual weakening of the heart muscle itself. What makes it even more heartbreaking is these are people who wanted to do the right thing. They were exercising, they were trying, but they were following advice designed for someone half their age, and their body paid the price. That is why I am asking, not to stop moving, but to move wisely. You can still get stronger. You can still improve your balance, your energy, your independence. But the path there looks different now. Gentle, rhythmic movement is your ally. Brisk walking boosts your circulation. Swimming protects your joints while engaging the whole body. Tai Chi calms your nervous system and trains balance in motion. Chair yoga supports flexibility without overexertion. These are not weak alternatives. These are powerful practices tailored for the reality of an aging heart. Because in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, health is no longer about intensity. It is about intelligence. And when you exercise with care, you are not just extending your life, you are improving the quality of every day within it. Now, if that surprised you, wait until you hear what comes next. Because the second mistake is one almost every senior has made, often in the name of building strength. It targets your core. It promises stability, but it may be quietly increasing your blood pressure with every single rep. Let us take a closer look in next part. Core crunches and heavy lifting. When strength training turns against your heart. In the beginning, we raised a simple but powerful question. What if some of the habits you have trusted for decades, the exercises meant to protect you, are quietly putting your heart at risk? Nowhere is this more misunderstood than in strength training, especially when it comes to the core. Strengthen your core? They say, build muscle to stay mobile, stay independent. And they are right, to a point. Because while strength training is essential for maintaining function, preventing falls, and supporting posture, it can also become a silent threat when done the wrong way, especially after 60. Let us break it down. When you perform a sit-up, a crunch, or lift a heavy weight, particularly if you hold your breath or brace too hard, something powerful happens inside your body. Pressure builds. This is called the Valsalva maneuver, a natural reflex that many people trigger without realizing it. You hold your breath, tighten your abdominal wall, and push through the movement. But in that moment, blood pressure surges, your chest compresses, blood flow to your heart is briefly altered. In a younger, resilient system, this can be managed. But in a senior body, with arteries that are less flexible, with a heart that has worked tirelessly for decades, this surge is not just stress, it is risk. Risk for arrhythmias, risk for fainting, risk for a sudden cardiac event. I recall a patient, a kind, independent man in his 70s, who started a home workout routine after watching strength training videos online. He was doing crunches and lifting weights with enthusiasm. He believed he was doing the right thing. Until one morning, halfway through a set, he felt light-headed, then collapsed. The emergency team stabilized him, but the diagnosis was clear cardiac strain, triggered by intense intra-abdominal pressure. He was not sick. He was not unfit. He was just doing too much, in the wrong way, for the body he had today. So here is what I want you to know. You do not need to give up strength training. You need to train smarter. Here is how. Use resistance bands instead of heavy dumbbells. They are easier on the joints and gentler on the heart. Focus on slow, steady movements. Speed is not your friend. Control is. Breathe through every repetition. Never hold your breath. Sit or lie down if needed. Modify exercises to match your body's current ability. And most importantly, never let pride silence your body's signals. You are not competing with your past. You are building a future, one where your heart stays strong, your steps stay steady, and your independence lasts. Because real strength at this stage of life is not how much you can lift, it is how well you can live. Now, let us move from the gym floor to something even more unexpected. Because sometimes the danger does not come from how you move, but from where and when you move. Temperature, humidity, weather conditions. For seniors, the environment can quietly turn even the safest walk into a serious cardiovascular strain. So stay with me as we move into next part. Exercising in extreme temperatures. When the weather becomes your heart's silent enemy. We have already explored how the wrong type of movement, like intense workouts or heavy lifting, can quietly put strain on an aging heart. But what if I told you that sometimes the danger begins before you even take your first step? That danger can come not from your workout, but from the weather outside your door. Yes, something as simple and invisible as the temperature around you can silently work against your heart, especially after age 60. I have seen this countless times in my clinic. Seniors come in confused. They walk the same path they have walked for years. But this time, they felt light-headed, their chest felt tight, their legs weakened beneath them, and they cannot understand why. They were simply exercising like everyone says they should. But here is what no one tells them. Your cardiovascular system does not respond to temperature the same way it used to. In cold weather, your body instinctively narrows your blood vessels to preserve warmth. This is a survival mechanism, but it comes at a cost. Narrow vessels mean higher blood pressure, especially in your limbs and heart. If you already live with hypertension, arterial stiffness, or mild heart disease, this added resistance can push your heart to its limit without warning. Now let us look at the opposite scenario. In hot weather, your blood vessels widen to release heat. That sounds helpful, but it makes your heart beat faster to keep your blood pressure stable. At the same time, you begin to sweat, lose fluid, and inch closer to dehydration, a combination that can easily trigger fatigue, dizziness, or even fainting. And here is something most people overlook after 60, your body's internal thermostat is not as sharp. You may not feel the signs of strain until it is too late. I have had patients collapse during a gentle morning walk in the summer, not realizing their heart was struggling to keep pace with the rising temperature. Others complained of breathlessness or a racing pulse after exercising on a crisp winter day, thinking the cold air was refreshing, not realizing it was forcing their blood pressure into dangerous territory. And the saddest part, they were doing everything right except adjusting for the weather. So, what can you do to stay safe and strong? Exercise indoors during temperature extremes, whether it is freezing or hot. If you must go outside, avoid peak sun hours in the afternoon and dress in layers during cold spells. Hydrate well, even before you feel thirsty. Dehydration happens faster than you think. And most importantly, pause and listen. A slightly faster heartbeat, a little dizziness, a bit more fatigue than usual. These are not signs of aging. They are signals. Signals from a heart that is trying to keep up and needs you to notice. Because at this stage in life, the environment is no longer neutral. It can be your partner or your enemy, and your wisdom in choosing where and when you move is just as important as how. But now we must turn to something even more deceptive, because while the weather is an external threat, the next danger often hides in the style of movement you choose. Fast-paced classes, jumping routines, energetic music that gets your heart racing in more ways than one. They promise energy, youth, and fun. But for many seniors, they deliver something else entirely: confusion, instability, and a dangerous shock to a heart that simply wants steady support. We will move into next part: jumping, rapid movements, and sudden direction changes. The hidden chaos inside an aging body. What you are about to learn might change how you view fitness forever. By now, we have uncovered how high intensity workouts, heavy lifting, and extreme weather can silently place stress on the aging heart. But there is another threat, one that hides in the very style of movement so many seniors are encouraged to try. Let us talk about fast-paced exercises. They make you feel strong, energized, even youthful. A rush of music, a quick set of moves, a sense of pushing back against the passage of time. Jumping jacks, burpees, quick turns, bouncy aerobics classes. At first glance, these exercises seem harmless, maybe even ideal. They are popular in community centers and senior fitness programs. They are easy to find online, and they promise vitality, longevity, and cardiovascular strength. But here is what I have seen in my own clinic. Seniors in their 60s, 70s, and beyond come in confused, breathless, dizzy, their heart racing or skipping beats. Many have experienced falls, muscle strains, or an unsettling sense that something just feels off, and they are not sure why. They say, "I thought I was doing the right thing." And in many ways they were. They were moving. They were trying. But the style of movement, the rapid pace, the constant bouncing, the sudden changes in direction, was not right for their heart anymore. You see, as we age, our body becomes less responsive to speed and stress. Your reflexes slow. Your blood vessels stiffen. Your balance system becomes more fragile. And your cardiovascular system, the heartbeat that has supported you through decades of life, no longer tolerates sudden shifts the way it once did. Every time you jump, twist, or spin, your heart must adjust instantly. Your blood pressure must rise, your rhythm must stabilize, and your brain must stay fully oxygenated. That is a complex dance, and sometimes it is more than your system can handle. This is not weakness. This is not failure. This is biology. And more than that, it is wisdom. Your body is no longer asking for speed. It is asking for stability. It is not looking for performance. It is looking for protection. The most heart protective exercises for older adults are not flashy. They are quiet, controlled, and deliberate. Think of Tai Chi, flowing motions that build balance and grace, or water aerobics, gentle resistance without pressure on your joints, or slow, guided stretching, which improves circulation, flexibility, and calmness all at once. These are not exercises that make headlines, but they do make a difference. They support the nervous system. They regulate breathing. They promote steady heart rhythms. And most importantly, they keep you safe while helping you grow stronger from the inside out. So if you have ever felt wobbly in a class, short of breath after a set, or unsure whether your body could keep up with the routine, listen. That feeling is your body's way of telling you it needs something different. Something more forgiving, more stable, more kind. Because strength, at this stage of life, is not measured by how fast you can move. It is measured by how gently you can sustain your health without unnecessary risk. But even gentle movement, when done at the wrong time, can have consequences. There is one more mistake many people make, and it has nothing to do with what you do. It has everything to do with when. Because the timing of your exercise, especially if done too late in the day, can interfere with the one thing your heart relies on most for healing and repair. Let us now move into next part, exercising too late at night, when good intentions disrupt the heart's deepest recovery. What you are about to hear may change not just how you move, but how well you sleep and how deeply your heart can truly rest. We have now explored how the type of movement, whether too intense, too sudden, or too chaotic, can place stress on the aging heart. But what if I told you the timing of your movement could be just as important as the movement itself? Let us take a closer look at a habit many well-meaning seniors develop exercising at night. At first, it seems like a smart solution. The sun has set. The errands are done. The house is finally quiet. Evening becomes the only time to focus on yourself, and for many, that means fitting in a walk, a quick stretch, or even a light workout before bed. But for those over 60, that well-intentioned habit might be doing more harm than good. You see, movement stimulates the body. Even gentle exercise raises your heart rate, elevates adrenaline, and increases your core temperature. It signals the brain to stay alert, to prepare for activity, not for sleep. And that alert state lingers. When you exercise too late in the evening, your body stays in high gear, and that delays one of the most vital processes your heart depends on: deep, restorative sleep. Now here is what many people forget: sleep is not just a break from your day. It is the reset button for your heart. During the deepest stages of sleep, your heart rate slows, your blood vessels relax, and your blood pressure naturally lowers. This is when the real healing happens. This is when inflammation goes down, hormone levels stabilize, and your cardiovascular system is allowed to repair itself in peace. But if your body is still riding the after effects of exercise, if adrenaline is still flowing, if your nervous system is still activated, that healing gets delayed. Or worse, it gets disrupted entirely. You might fall asleep, but it is shallow, fragmented, restless. I have had patients who came to me exhausted, confused. They were walking every night, doing light yoga before bed, believing it would help them sleep better. But what we discovered instead? Their blood pressure remained stubbornly high. Their sleep tracking showed long periods of wakefulness, and their hearts were never fully off duty. It was not the exercise that was wrong. It was the timing, and the science backs this up. Research from the National Sleep Foundation, along with studies published by the American Heart Association, confirms that exercising late in the evening can delay the release of melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it is time to sleep. It can spike cortisol, the stress hormone, and disrupt the natural circadian rhythm that governs everything from blood pressure to insulin regulation. In younger bodies, this disruption may not cause lasting harm. But in aging hearts, where every heartbeat already works a little harder, that lost recovery becomes a real risk. So, what can you do instead? Simple changes, profound results. Try to schedule movement in the morning or early afternoon if possible. These times align better with your body's natural energy curve. They also help regulate blood sugar, improve mood, and prepare your system for deeper sleep later that night. And in the evenings, let go of the need to fit in one more activity. Choose instead to unwind. Dim the lights. Take a few slow, intentional breaths. Stretch gently if you must, not to strengthen, but to soften. Sip on something warm. Let your body fall into rhythm with the night, because sleep is not optional. It is essential. It is the foundation upon which your healing is built. And no matter how many right things you do during the day, If you sacrifice your rest, your heart will never truly recover. But now, let us address something even more dangerous than bad timing. It is not the wrong movement, or even too much movement. It is no movement at all. The most damaging thing you can do for your heart after 60 is nothing. And that is where we go next. The final warning, when inactivity becomes the silent killer. By now, we have explored the hidden dangers of exercising too hard, moving too fast, and even moving at the wrong time. So it would be easy to assume that doing nothing is safer, that avoiding movement altogether might be the more protective path for an aging heart. But let me be very clear. The real danger, the most silent, the most underestimated danger of all, is inactivity. Not moving your body does not mean you are resting. It means you are slowly breaking down. Inactivity is not peace. It is erosion. It weakens your muscles. It stiffens your arteries. It slows your circulation. It invites your heart to work harder with every beat until it can no longer keep up. And here is the heartbreaking part. It often begins quietly. You skip a walk because your knees hurt. You stop stretching because your back feels stiff. You begin to sit more, rest more, do less, because it feels like the safe choice. But over time, those small decisions add up, and suddenly, your legs swell, your breath shortens, your energy disappears, and your blood pressure rises, even though you have not changed your diet or your medications. I have seen this play out too many times. A senior comes into my clinic confused. "Doctor, I have not been doing anything wrong. I have just been taking it easy." But taking it easy is not the same as taking care. Because your heart, even at 60, 70, 80 years old, needs movement. It needs rhythm. It needs gentle, steady circulation to stay healthy and strong. And the science agrees. The World Health Organization and the American Heart Association both recommend that adults over 60 aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate activity every week. That may sound like a lot, but it does not mean high-impact cardio or grueling workouts. It means walking around your block, gardening, dancing to your favorite music in the kitchen, doing light stretches in your living room while the morning sun comes in. It means movement with meaning, because here is what happens when you move. Your blood flows. Oxygen feeds your brain. Nutrients reach your heart. Your joints loosen. Your lungs expand. Your mood lifts. Your memory sharpens. And slowly, almost invisibly, your body begins to heal. This is not about chasing youth. This is about honoring your body with the consistency it now craves. So if you have been avoiding exercise out of fear of injury, fear of failure, fear of doing it wrong, please hear this. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to begin. Start with 5 minutes. Stand up. Stretch. Take a few slow steps across the room. Tomorrow, add 2 more minutes. Then 5. Let your body remember what it feels like to move with purpose, not punishment. And when you feel resistance, when your mind says, "It is too late," or "This will not make a difference," come back to this truth. Stillness may feel safe, but it is movement that keeps the heart alive, not intense movement, not impressive movement, just daily, gentle, loving movement. Because your heart was not designed for stillness. It was made to beat, to flow, to carry you forward, one step, one breath, one small choice at a time. And now, let us end this journey with one final truth, one deeper than any routine, more powerful than any exercise. It is not a stretch, a walk, or a number on your pedometer. It is a message from your heart, and it has been waiting for you to hear it. A message your heart has been waiting to hear. Your heart is not just a muscle. It is a memory keeper. It has carried you through every high and every heartbreak, through every moment of laughter, loss, joy, and fear. And without ever asking for thanks, it has kept going, beat after beat, day after day, year after year. But now it needs you. It is not asking for perfection. It is not asking for punishment. It is asking for presence. The 5 exercises we have talked about today are not bad by nature. They simply do not match the reality of an aging heart, a heart that has earned the right to be treated with care, not force. And the 6th danger, doing nothing at all, may be the most dangerous of all. Because when the body stops moving, the heart begins to fade. But you can change that, starting today. This is not about fear. It is about wisdom. It is about honoring the rhythm of your body instead of trying to outrun time. It is about redefining strength, not as pushing harder, but as protecting what matters most: your life, your independence, your energy, your heart. So here is my invitation to you. Take one thing from this video. Just one. Maybe it is choosing a walk over a heavy workout. Maybe it is moving your exercise to the morning instead of late at night. Maybe it is simply listening, truly listening, to how your body feels after movement. Then build from there. Because small, steady steps lead to lasting change. Your next chapter does not have to be about decline. It can be about discovery. It can be about waking up each day feeling just a little bit stronger, a little bit clearer, and a lot more alive. And now, I would love to hear from you. What part of this message spoke to you most? Have you experienced a moment where movement either helped or hurt your heart? Are there questions still lingering in your mind? Leave a comment below. Share your story. Let us walk this journey together. Because you are not alone. And if you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Someone you love may be quietly struggling, and your share could be the message that changes their life. Thank you for being here, for listening, for choosing to care for your heart, one gentle decision at a time. This is not the end. It is the beginning of something better.